We make them rich because we like their products. If you like their electronics and you buy them, and they haven't been bailed out by the government and they don't get government contracts, that's one thing. But if you're rich because you belong to crony capitalism, that you're on the take and you get the contracts and you have your lobbyists going to Washington and you're controlling everything, that's quite a bit different. I don't think we should just tax those people. We should take away all their subsidies so that they don't have this ill-gotten wealth.
Yeah.
And of course, this would include the military-industrial complex. But the military-industrial complex is sacred territory for leadership in both parties, and they always argue, well, they protect us. We need all these weapons. But let me tell you, we have more weapons than we need. We have more weapons than everybody else put together. We don't need more weapons. We need more common sense in our foreign policy, and I believe we'd be a lot safer. Many years ago by a Republican president said, watch out, there's an alliance between the military and the Congress, and they will beat the drums of war, scare the people, there's another Hitler coming, they're going to bomb us, and we have to attack another country. Well, it's systematic. How many Hitlers have we had here in the last 20, 30 years? They always have to have an enemy in order to spend the money and buy more and more weapons. A good example now is going on in Tunisia. They lost a lot of weapons, and we're propping up a new government. And we're now saying that we have to rearm the Tunisian army. But at your expense, we're doing the same. Freedom is one issue. It brings people together. Personal liberty and economic liberty are one and the same. It is based on the fundamental fact that we have a right to our life, we have a right to our liberty. It's natural, it's God-given, and it follows that we ought to have a right to keep the fruits of our labor. Today, our fruits of our labor are under attack. Matter of fact, wealth is under attack. It's been under attack for many, many decades. And there's been a transfer of wealth from the middle class to the wealthy. This is characteristic of the debasement of currency. If you have nothing else other than devaluing the currency, and like what the Federal Reserve does, there is an automatic transfer of wealth from the middle class to the wealthy. And the middle class shrinks. Everybody knows the middle class is shrinking right now. Is Wall Street suffering? Are the banks suffering? What happens when the crisis hits? Congress rushes to pass bills and bail out the banks, bail out the people who have been ripping us off, and then at the same time, the people who have to assume the debt that they have run up are the people. We buy that bad debt. The people own the debt. It doesn't allow the correction to occur, and the middle class gets smaller. They lose their jobs. They lose their houses. So all these fancy housing programs and all that excessive credit that was supposed to give everybody a house ends up in a disaster with people losing their jobs and losing their houses. So wealth keeps shrinking. So there's a couple things offered. Some say, well, what we have to do is raise taxes. There's a few people still making money. We have to tax them, and that'll solve the problem. And some people say, well, yes, if they make money, they have the money, we have to tax them. But there are two kinds of people that still have the money. There's one kind that we make them rich because we like their products. If you like their electronics and you buy them, and they haven't been bailed out by the government and they don't get government contracts, that's one thing. But if you're rich because you belong to crony capitalism, that you're on the take and you get the contracts and you have your lobbyists going to Washington and you're controlling everything, that's quite a bit different. I don't think we should just tax those people. We should take away all their subsidies so that they don't have this ill-gotten wealth.